Okay. Merry Christmas, everyone, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. But yeah, in other news, my name's Suki Yamagawa, and today I am VTubing my slow life hobbies in my 30s, and I'm making sukiyaki over the campfire. And also, Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Spock. I hope you're having a great Christmas. But I do want to just like do a quick notification for everyone. My chat preview in OBS is acting up, so it's probably going to be a little bit difficult for me to read chat tonight. But past that, I gotta say, everything's been pretty good. Pretty good. It's been a good Christmas. Granted, it has also been exceptionally warm. Like it's in the mid 60s degrees Fahrenheit out here. So, but yeah, we are going to be making sukiyaki tonight. Also, we're going to be doing some other stuff too. Normally I do a little bit more monitoring, but this is just going to be fun. We're going to have fun tonight. Or at least I'm intending to have fun tonight. I have beer, so fun will be had, at least for me. So, sukiyaki is basically hot pot. Last year I made hot pot for the first time on the channel on Christmas, and so basically we're doing hot pot again, but a different kind of hot pot. Because I used a Chinese base for the hot pot versus this is going to be like a little bit more of a Japanese base for the hot pot. So now I've got the cutting board out just to be a fake out, because we're going to actually start. Actually, I should probably pull up my magic instructions. Magic instructions. Here. Yeah, there we go. Cool. I just need my ingredients list. Whoop. Yeah, because we'll use that for like some of the other ingredients. So, what we're going to be doing first is we're basically going to be making the broth for the hot pot. The broth is called Warishita. Warishita is the name of the broth for the hot pot. And this is basically gonna help all the wonderful umami become even better now. So we are starting off with around a half a cup of the wonderful, legendary mirin. If you don't know what mirin is, I would like I would like honest, like here's the thing, like this stuff is useful. This stuff is ultra useful in cooking in the kitchen. Like this is definitely one. That's definitely one of the things that I'm really glad that's come into my life due to all the various like cooking and other shenanigans I do. So next up is gonna be good old soy sauce. Which we will also be doing for around half a cup. Recipe calls for a dark soy sauce, which is basically like a richer soy sauce. This is what I have. So this is what I'm working with, because I'm not buying a whole dang thing of soy sauce just for tonight's recipe. But I will be generous with my amount of soy sauce, just to sort of help even that out. Because if I'm generous, oh wow, we're actually starting to get a little bit low on that jar, which is technically a good thing. Technically, it's a good thing because, well, yeah. It takes a lot of work to go through my soy sauce. So that's going to be our soy sauce to our broth. And then next up is going to be everyone's favorite sweet thing, good old granulated sugar. So let's see here. Okay. Now I think for the granulated sugar we are doing a... Yep, quarter cup. We are doing a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. There is a half cup measure, not needed. Are you my third? You're the third. And lo and behold, we finally found you. The 1/4 cup measure. The 1/4 cup measure. So, I'm going to honestly be pretty even. Oh, wait. Could you substitute honey? Oh, I am pretty sure you could actually do honey as a substitute. And I'm pretty sure for honey, you would just do like a 1-for-1. So, 1/4 cup sugar, it's probably equivalent to a 1/4 cup of honey, I would imagine. Because, I mean, honey is basically sugar. Now, there is technically some water in honey, but I don't think you would have to worry about that with this. If you wanted to be real technical, you'll probably be a little bit generous with your amount of honey, and you'll probably be more than fine. Because actually, so the sugar is actually just to help like up the sweetness a little bit more. Because what mirin actually is it is a cooking rice wine. And where's my ingredient list on you? Yep, ingredient list. Ingredient list: glucose syrup, water, alcohol, rice, salt. This is basic. Honey is... I can't read B-barf. I mean, that's certainly a way to look at it. But yeah, this is basically... Essentially what mirin is at the end of the day is a sweet cooking rice wine. It's alcohol you can cook with. It's basically what mirin is. And actually, I should try to make my life a little bit easier. Let's see here. So we'll do... Oh, I don't have it quite high enough. Oh, let's see. Ah! And then we'll drop that. Yeah, there we go. I'll make it a little bit easier, and then if we go to this, what I can do is... we'll see what that does. So, that is 3 of our ingredients for the warishita. Then it is time for the most controversial ingredient to be used in this stream, and probably any other stream, and that is umami enhancer. And for those who don't know what umami enhancer is, this is MSG. This is good old MSG, which apparently is very controversial in the West. But you know what? I'm the type of guy who actually, I've made actual root beer out of sassafras root, which is also an ingredient that isn't that bad. If you believe people in the news, MSG has been widely used in Asian cuisine for a very long time, so it's kind of one of those things where, personally, I feel like it is honestly no more dangerous than salt. It is no more dangerous than salt. And the issue, it's one of those things where it's like how much you expose yourself to it. Because, I mean, because the thing is with like sensationalist and news stories, they like to be like, hey, some scientific study has determined that this is bad. Don't consume this anymore. And this is kind of what has happened to MSG. But it doesn't seem like that has been like the full story on MSG. Darn it. Some people get headaches from MSG? Okay, well, tonight I find out if I'm one of those people. So we're going to be a little bit generous. The recipe calls for a single teaspoon, so not a whole lot. So it doesn't take a lot to go a long way with this. And then with all that done, grab our handy dandy spoon. So I can feel my sugar I added earlier into the bottom, that I added earlier onto the bottom of this. And basically I'm stirring this to the point of making sure everything is nicely combined. And there we go. Make sure we get the rest of that wonderful soybeanness. And then I'm also going to, whenever I'm stirring something, I always like to kind of like change directions of my stir a couple times. Like right now I'm going clockwise. Now switch it up and go to anti-clockwise, just to kind of help mix it a little bit. Spoon's going to lie there. And this is going to be our broth, which we'll use that later. So for now, get set off to the side. But I am very much interested in what my fire pit's doing. Ooh boy. Hey now. Hey now, buddy. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. And with that, I'm just gonna go. Actually, you're one of my, I think, drier pieces. I'm gonna set you off to the side. I'm gonna grab a smaller, I think, wetter piece. And we'll throw that on there for a little while, because one of the fun things with hot pot is we're basically gonna just be boiling / simmering this for a fair amount of time. So it's kind of in the how do I put this, like ultra user like friendly, also just like straightforward. Ooh. I feel like straightforward is the best way to put it. So now that we have our sauce, basically our broth set up, made, all that good stuff, we now get to start working on our various ingredients for the hot pot. We'll do, I'm going to use 1 large carrot, because I'm also doing this in the Kanto style. And I'm going to, because I have a bit of a black tip to this guy, not looking too good, it goes to the fire so he can nourish more crops in the future. So this is a pot. Well, it's not necessarily a pot, it's just a bowl for me to set my ingredients into as I prepare them. So what I'm going to try and do for these guys is I'm going to cut discs, but I'm going to cut these discs at an angle, so that they're kind of a little bit more interesting than just straight. Versus just like straight carrot cuts, because if I were to go with the straight carrot cut approach, then I feel like because if you kind of like slant your blade cut, you end up with a more oval shape. End up with a more oval shape, which I think is a little bit more interesting, and also the oval shape still don't roll off your cutting board as badly as round ones will. Round ones will like just try to yeet themselves off. And I'm just gonna cut up this one whole carrot. I am gonna include a bit of a note right now, and the note is I am not gonna be using mushrooms. Hot pot traditionally has mushrooms in it. However, though, I'm honestly not a mushroom guy. I do not like mushrooms in any capacity. Love carrots, though. Absolutely love carrots. Carrots are amazing. I'm actually really excited for a lot of the stuff I'm putting in here. It's just carrots are one of those things I'm just not like, I don't really like. Well, mushrooms I don't like. Because I'm trying to keep it to stuff I like, because, hey, it's Christmas, you know? I want this to be a meal I like. Okay. Now, carrots. Oh, boy. Let's get done. Let's get the big boy. The big kahunga. And that is, bada bang, bada boom, the Napa cabbage. So, this is a lot of cabbage. This is honestly a very ridiculous amount of cabbage. So, first off, I'm going to just cut. Ugh. There's a lot of vegetable, man. So, and there we go. That's the Napa cabbage. Completely cut up. Well, not completely cut up. We got a long way to go before we get to that point, but we're not using the whole thing in tonight's dish. That is I assure you 100% I am not using all of this, because this is way too much food. This is egregious amount of food. Now, I am leaving the tail, the end, on the parts I'm not using. That is to reduce the amount of moisture that comes out of the cabbage. And by keeping the amount of moisture that will leave the cabbage lower, I can extend the refrigerator life of the cabbage longer. There's a reason why I'm doing that. So, I'm going to just only be working with 1/4 of the cabbage for tonight. So, the full white root, which I think can be a little bit more generous on cutting. Cutting that out. Yeeting my scraps into the fire pit. So, Napa cabbage basically has two sides. Side 1, leafy side. Side 2, the white side. And we kind of just want to break this into nice, somewhat bite-sized bits. We want bite-sized bits. Now, I'm actually really curious about this Napa cabbage business. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, that's actually like really refreshing. I like that. So the leafy stuff, I'm just put in one corner. Should be composting that. Sure. That's one way to do it, but So, fun fact about where my fireplace ashes end up is my fireplace ashes actually end up in my compost. So I'm basically speed composting when I throw my food scraps into the fire pit. That's kind of the reason I do it. Also, there we go. Okay. A lot of this bowl is going to get consumed with cabbage. This poor bowl. It's just going to get consumed with so much cabbage. Could you substitute Napa cabbage? Honestly, I am admittedly sure you probably could. Granted, I was genuinely surprised that my Kroger, my local supermarket, actually had Napa cabbage. Like, very genuinely surprised that I had the Napa cabbage. My compost goes to the chickens first. Yeah, that's fair. That's more than fair. Chickens definitely deserve to have first dibs on that. Okay. Beer's done. Off to the side. Now, I grab my water. Because water's hydration and very important. So, let's go ahead. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This guy. Very important. Very important. Very, very highly prized around this homestead. And that is the humble but mighty onion. So, let's go ahead. Cut the top off the onion. And then I really just love yeeting my onion into the fire because I get nice onion smells. And I like my nice onion smells. And then we'll do a half divide. And then we'll want to just take off this outer layer. Now I'm going to be a little bit aggressive with this simply because I'm trying to be quick about this. That looks like a Spanish onion. This is actually a sweet onion. It's just a standard sweet onion you can find anywhere else. Now, granted, I actually do like the fact that you, Mr. Spock, you used a really interesting emoji there. And that emoji is actually, that looks to be an emoji for a chestnut, which is a piece of vegetable I also really like. And we actually did some roasting around the fire pit. Okay, so for onions, for how I want to do these, I'm going to just do nice, thick chunk. Well, maybe I might get a little bit thinner than what I just did there. I think that's very reasonable. Because we're going to be having this onion, add some sweetness, add some goodness to our dish. Also, I just like onion a lot. Like, I truly adore onion, and I know I've probably raved around. You need a slap chop. Oh no, sir. I am not going that quick. I am not going to go that quick, sir. Visually impressive, but Christmas is a bad day to get hurt. Any day is a bad day to get hurt. And I'm not getting hurt on Christmas. Definitely not having that happen. That is no bueno. Okay, so we got our Napa cabbage cut. We have our onions cut. So we're getting pretty close to getting through most of our ingredients. I think next Next is very similar to what we just worked with. Now, technically speaking, if I had access to green onion, like nice proper, well, an actual proper Japanese green onion, I'd be using that. I do not have access to that right now. So I'm just subbing regular green onion in. Now for regular green onion, just kind of run my finger along the edge. Just kind of clean up all this dead leaf stuff. There we go. And just try and get this stuff as reasonably clean, because we're only going to be working with like this first little bit for all these guys. Now, rest assured, I'm not wasting anything. So, more on that at 11. So, now, for that is, generally speaking, the recommended way to do the onion. Just nice little bits like that, at nice little like angles, because you're technically supposed to use like a Japanese onion, a negi onion. If you're familiar enough with pop culture idols on the internet, a one Hatsune Miku is very fond of the negi. And that's kind of that's the actual like technically proper onion for this. But I am limited by what is somewhat reasonably available in a American supermarket. So I have limitations. I must work within my limitations. Nonetheless, yeah. Well, all this is definitely getting saved. Definitely getting saved. Which, actually, speaking of, you know what? Hey, you want to talk about a cup of water? We can go ahead and prep that. We can prep that. Because I'm actually going to have some extra ingredients from this. And with those extra ingredients, my game plan is to use those for gyudon tomorrow, because I want to make gyudon. Because I'm going to actually have the meat for it. So, once again, angled cuts. I'm going to throw this into our cup of water. These get thrown into our bowl of goodies. Last, negi. Well, it's not negi. It's just green onion. Granted, negi in Japanese gets translated to green onion a lot. And there we go. Those will go there. And that's, we got onion. We got onions and carrots, and got a pretty hefty amount of material here. I really don't move too much. Really hope I don't have too much going on here. Now, I've been out of beer for a little while. I'm gonna fix that. Be fixing that with an Oktoberfest beer, because it's been a long time since I've had a Oktoberfest beer. So, cheers. Cheers. Merry Christmas, by the way. That's what makes me happy. Ooh. Okay. That's not gonna work. Okay. Well, I tried. Okay, so got my fire's kind of starting to die down a little bit. So I'm gonna bring my prepared veg over here, and I'm gonna grab this piece of wood. And just by grabbing the piece of wood, I'm gonna yeet these pieces of wood over and set it down there, because I don't need a great deal of wood. Just need a little bit. Now, next up is good old tofu. Love me some good old tofu. Ah. Jeepers creepers. Packaging on this is tight. And it also came out of the freezer, so it's... Oh, there we go. Oh, yep. Just want to get my water out of it. There we go. We'll open up a little bit more. It'll come back over. Yeah, there we go. Get all that moisture out of it. Because I actually had this stuff. Because this is half a packet. The other half was used during the vegetarian or vegan? It was the vegan curry I made, which I think was a little while ago. There we go. Boom. Block of semi-firm tofu. And then I think for this, I want to get bite-sized pieces. So we're going to do half. And we'll kind of do thickish chunks because I just want the tofu to hold together well. And there we go. That is the tofu diced up. And we'll just kind of quickly get it into our pan, well, our bin, and there we go. And so I have so much food right here. This is a lot of food. I'm trying to make. I'm also like trying to not make too much because I don't want to end up with too much. So I think let me just go through my ingredients. So that is the end of veg prepping. Just cutting. Off to the side. However, though, we still have one more ingredient to, well, get a few more ingredients to introduce. But our next ingredient is going to be shirataki noodles. Shirataki noodles. These are a yam-based noodle. Now, because they are a yam-based noodle, I think they're traditionally shipped in water. This pack does not seem to be in water. Wait a sec. Wait, is there a second packaging? Ah, okay. So, interestingly enough, they are in another packaging. This is my first time buying them from the grocery store, by the way. So, the reason why they're in liquid is to keep them from clumping up. So I'm going to take my knife. What I want to do here is I first want to start off with a nick, and then I want to open that up. Then with a nice corner open, I want to drain that moisture off. And with a little bit of that moisture drained off, stay. We're going to actually return these to this, just because it gives it a little bit more structure. It stays up. Now, we have done our veg prep, which you can actually do in advance. That's one of the that's actually kind of like one of the fun things about Sukiyaki is you can do all your prep work in advance, and then you can just actually go ham and actually make the thing, which is one of the fun things about Sukiyaki. So, we're now actually going to get into the process of making Sukiyaki. And I now get to play with my 2 iron bars. Because actually, I hook you. Yes. Can you stay put there? Sort of. A sort of. Okay, I can live with sort of. That's fine. That is fine. And then let's roll this one out. Then I'm just going to kind of take this piece of wood I threw on and kind of drop it down a little bit. The main thing I want to make sure that I don't do too much is I want to make sure it does not get too hot. If it gets too hot, that would be bad. Use your hands like in Kung Fu. No, I don't want to get my hands. I don't want to get my hands burnt, man. We at least believe in the idea of safety around here. There we go. Let's see. Honestly, for Sukiyaki, let's do... I need to move this grate. Yeah. It needs to come over in this direction. Because I have lots of flame here, lots of heat. I don't want too much heat around the Sukiyaki. So, where is the wire? Okay. So, this is going to be our pan. This is the dish we're going to be making the Sukiyaki in. Yay! So, I've got a lot of heat here. Trying to keep the heat a little bit more on the lower side here. I wish I could take this one particular log and yeet it more this way, but it's too wide for that. Takes up a little bit too much room in the fire pit. So, Sukiyaki dish is going to go there. And we're going to start off with a very neutral oil. We're going to go with canola oil. Which, coincidentally, this was the oil I used for tempura. When I did the tempura making stream. This is the oil I used. Will be a little bit more generous with the oil. Now, while the oil heats up, let us get the star of a Sukiyaki, and that is the beef. Now, typically for Sukiyaki, you want to use a Wagyu style beef. My local supermarkets don't carry that. Costco does, but one of the problems when you're trying to shop for groceries before the Christmas season is you don't want to go to a Costco. Shopping for groceries in the lead up to the Christmas season is very dangerous. Exceedingly dangerous. It is a very dangerous enterprise. Don't recommend it. So we're gonna get this bad boy open. Now, technically speaking, to do a sukiyaki, well, you would want to go with a more high fat versus high, because this is a pretty high protein beef. And then I'm just gonna have my fork ready. So once I feel like my pot warms up, I'll switch over stuff to that. No, it was originally labeled rapeseed oil. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. Let's see. Actually, I might go to the YouTube video that I was using as a reference earlier, just because I like that. Because I had a good reference with my ingredients list. Now I just want my... Which I should... At the end of this stream, I will have a link prepared for everyone. Directions, to make the starters. Yep. Okay. Oh! No, but I can improvise that, though. I can improvise that aspect. Okay. So I was actually looking up my steps, if you will. And I noticed some interesting discrepancies. Okay. Yeah, nice sizzle. Looks good. And then for this beef, I'm gonna just break it up without burning my hand, while also getting a little bit more out. But I just want to use about half of what I got in my container. What's that? Oh, so this is this is beef. It's beef shaved steak. It's just, this is traditionally something you use for like a Philly cheesesteak. Is its most common use case. So I've got a lot of heat. I don't necessarily appreciate it. So I'm gonna just try get some of those coals further away. But yeah, this is the closest prepared product I could get from an American grocery store for this dish, which is why I'm using it. Very warm. It's very exceedingly warm here. I have a lot. Never used that before. It's probably because it's very much an American thing. The Philly cheesesteak is kind of a legendary sandwich around here in the America. So now that I got a little bit of browning on that, I'm going to take my warishita, my basically sauce, give this really good stirs. Get that in there. Now, I've got some residuals in there. And for those residuals. I'm gonna pour a little bit of water, just because I want to capture those residuals, and I also just want to build my broth a little bit. Is what I wish to do here. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of swirls. Oh, we have poutine here. Ah, yeah, I've heard of the poutine, but I've never had poutine. Granted, I am aware that poutine is also very much like a distinctly Canadian thing. So now that I have my broth mixed in with my meat, I am just going to give this a good stir. Just kind of make sure everything gets reasonably mixed up. Ah, down there. Interesting. So, as all that warms up, this is actually a really good time, which actually, if you want to be very traditional about it, you take your beef, and you just bring it to like one side of your pot. And then you just start gathering up your ingredients from your pre-prepared bowl. And I'm going to always start with ingredients I think that can soak up like the most. So, and then you just kind of like pile them in a spot. So, all the tofu is going to go in a spot. Then, let me just reach in here and grab my onions, because I just absolutely adore my onions. Onions go in. Next up is I'm going to focus on the more thicker, wider pieces of my Napa cabbage. I'm going to be digging through those for that. And that's kind of the thing that makes a sukiyaki is it's just kind of like a just make it as you go type of deal. So I'm going to be reaching into my onions and my remaining cabbage, my like green onions, while also getting my carrots in. And it looks like my broth, I might have to water it up a little bit just to get that broth up a little bit more. That's kind of one of the big things with Sukiyaki is you just want to kind of like get a decent amount of coverage. Doner was invented in Halifax, Nova Scotia, at the King of Doner restaurant. Oh, I think Halifax is in Nova Scotia. Sorry, Mr. Spock, but I am not the most deeply familiar individual with Canadian geography. I'm roughly familiar with it, but I'm also holy smokes! I can't believe I got that. Can't believe I actually got that. As a silly. Oh wait. Oh well. Actually, I actually gotta add an ingredient here, man. I gotta add an ingredient. So I'm gonna kind of just try and push a lot of this stuff off to the side and create a well in the middle. And with that well in the middle, I'm gonna add my noodles. And look at me. I know a little bit about Canada. So we'll open up the bag. Just drop those noodles straight in there. Yeah, there we go. I want all my noodles in my dish. I want to get all my food. Now, granted, I'm probably making way too much food for just me. Yeah, we'll just kind of... Yeah. Hot. Not suey, but... So, since I have a wretchedly uneven heat, I'm also going to be focused on turning this guy. So, just the fact that I heard it simmering a little bit, and then... Holy smokes. Holy smokes. That's warm. That is unnecessarily warm. Oh boy. But, you know what? I've got a reasonable amount of broth. So, this now just has to simmer for a while. But I am also trying to keep my leafy Napa cabbage out. Because that gets cooked the least amount. Refers to instructions. Just visible under the vegetable. Do not cover and boil. Yep. Stir and gently cover and simmer until the Napa cabbage and mushrooms are cooked through, since they take the longest. This will create... Okay. Okay, cool. So we are now at the... We let this simmer and do its thing stage for a while, and then we'll have delicious food. Now I will put the leaves of the Napa cabbage in at some point, or just snack on them because I'm hungry. Or just snack on them because I'm hungry, you know? Now, the thing is with this Napa cabbage stuff, it is going to be... This stuff is going to be really dang good when it fully absorbs the flavors of the broth. Right now, kind of got a little bit of a bitterness to it, but past that, like, otherwise is pretty good stuff. It's pretty good stuff. I'm excited. No, I don't have any insta boiling or anything going on, so that is actually a very good sign that I am doing the appropriate amount of temperature management. If I wasn't doing the appropriate amount of temperature management, I would probably have like an insta boil, which would mean my pot's too hot. But as you can see, I have a lot of fire here, have some fire back there, but underneath the pot, pretty low amount of fire, which is good. Because the thing is, we are just trying to simmer the hot pot, you know? Just trying to get a nice, gentle simmer, gentle boil. That's what we're trying to do. Carrot is good. That's good carrot, man. And I do like myself some good carrot. Good carrot's good stuff. Where are you? Oh, yeah. Canola oil goes there. Yeah. But yeah, I gotta say, this has actually been a pretty good Christmas. It's been a nice mix of stuff to do, but also not having stuff to do. So I feel like this is going over a lot better than my first Christmas stream. The first Christmas stream was almost a little bit yabai. Just because I'm still relatively new to this, and also relatively new to this style of cooking. Which, unfortunately, I really want to eat. Is what I want to do right now. I want to eat some food, man, but I don't even really have that much of a oil on that. But the thing is like this, like the handle here. It's warm enough to be way too warm for me to touch without safety protection. So, right, I was actually kind of hoping to have a boil by now. So, I think what I'll do, I'll just add a little bit of fire there, and then got this piece of wood. And we'll add that piece of wood to the far side. Adding the wood to the far side means I get fresh supply of wood, but by keeping it farther away from my food, means it doesn't affect the temperature heat that I'm trying to achieve with my food. Because that's like the... Ooh! Oh, snap! Okay, so that is actually warmed up enough for us to go into light mode. I'm going to turn off the magic lamp. The magic lamp that keeps things lit up and cozy. Because we're now in light mode, and we're probably going to stay in light mode as long as this pot is on the fire. Now, I gotta consider cook time. I want this to really combine and cook really well. Oh. I know! Give me back my light, man! Now, granted, this actually looks pretty cozy, though. I gotta say, this is reasonably cozy. Man, I don't like how much fire I got near my pit. Near my thing. And just push that fire off a little bit and chill it down. Man, I'm surprised I have enough light for this, though. But if we're doing this reasonably well, actually, you know what? Let's be smarter about this and bring another grill grate into the equation. That's the smart way to do it. Ooh. Oh, goodness gracious. Whoa! Light mode once again. We're in light mode once again. Merry Christmas, all. Merry Christmas to you, Captain Cocoa Puff. Hope you're having a great Christmas. Gotta say, Christmas has been pretty good around here. I'm about to have some really good food. I'm finishing off an Oktoberfest beer. Oktoberfest. And the New Year's looking bright. So, my sister, she came in pretty good clutch this year for me. And my Christmas gift for this upcoming year was the Stardew Valley cookbook. And you guys better believe I'm going to be pulling some recipes from this cookbook. And I'm going to be making these on stream at some point. But I am very excited about this. And also, like the illustrations are really pretty. Let's freaking go, yeah! Now, there are stuff like Maki Roll, which has seafood, and I'm not a big seafood guy. Now, granted, I might try to find substitutes for some of that stuff, but like, look how beautiful this is! Look how beautiful this is! This is so beautiful! It is, like, this is actually a really well-made cookbook. Radish salad. Now, this is probably something I'll make in spring. Granted, I don't know if I'll do it as, like, well, I might do it as a campfire stream. It just I won't be able to. I just won't need the campfire to actually like make the thing. Ooh, we're heating up quite a bit. So I see I have a lot of boiling action on this side of the world. Turn. Let's it. Even heat distribution. But yeah, I've been doing a little bit of flipping through it, but it's. Like, this is actually really, a roots platter. Oh, please tell me. Oh, I got a preheated oven. Okay, so that can be a Dutch oven dish. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. And also just like really cozy, like art. Like, I gotta say, that's probably like one of the cooler things with some of the video game like cookbooks is they will have some really nice art to them. I have a friend who's a big fan of the Final Fantasy 14. I don't know. I think he has one of the cookbooks. There's 2 cookbooks. Video game media cookbooks are always dope. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'll get into doing. Not sure if my friend will let me borrow one of his Final Fantasy 14 cookbooks. Now, well, actually, I know what I need to do to get him to let me borrow one of those cookbooks. And what I have to do is I have to make that man okonomiyaki. I make that man okonomiyaki, he will let me borrow one. He will let me borrow his Final Fantasy 14 cookbook. I know he will. Oh yeah, we've actually achieved a really nice heat. Yeah, honestly, I'm just willing to go with a frequent flipping of my pot at this point. And it's also nice because I also have like a real nice coverage of the Sukiyaki pot. So this should be good. This should be good. This should be some good food. I am optimistic it's good food. I have always wanted to do silly stuff like that. Now I've done silly stuff with like that with like wood scraps, which is real fun because it's fun to hear them like ring across the shop floor. But doing that with a beer can. Holy smokes, that smelled amazing. I don't drink often, but when I do, I drink Dos Equis. Now, that's not going to be cooking way too much longer because we are getting close to like actually being able to enjoy food point. And because this is Christmas, I'm a lot more willing to make a little bit of a well there. There you. I'll just throw a good old leafy green goodness at that. Oh, it's been a minute since I heard someone drink Dos Equis. Here's the thing, like as far as like here's the thing, as far as like Mexican lagers go, I really like Dos Equis. It's just my local supermarket sells a Dos Equis 6-pack for like $11, and I think that's $11 for a Dos Equis is a little bit much. But there's a locally ran liquor store by Indians near me that sell Dos Equis for like $9.50, and it's like for under $10 I'll definitely buy a 6-pack of Dos Equis. Dos Equis is I like Dos Equis because it is a good foil for craft beer. So, like, I had the Oktoberfest earlier. Dos Equis is a lager, but it's a lager with flavor. It's, in my opinion, it's a lot like, it's a bit like Sapporo, but Sapporo has more body to the beer, whereas Dos Equis is very much, at least the Dos Equis like lager special is more like a standard lager, which honestly I genuinely appreciate that about this beer. I genuinely appreciate this because it is a light, easy drinking beer. Not gonna screw me up, and if I'm like having other beers, it is a good background like foil beer compared to other beers, which is kind of the big thing that I really like about which is what makes Dos Equis stand out to me. That's what I like about the Dos Equis. And I will be drinking plenty of water because regrettably I have to work tomorrow. And I am 90% sure my mic picked up that sound that was just made. And I'm now just trying to think of what caliber of gun would make that sort of noise. Because it was like big, whoosh. Oh God. So yeah, I live at the edge of civilization, so my neighbors' houses actually like back up into like woods, which unfortunately means I deal with deer pressure on my hostas. Which deer, this is what this finger's for. This is what this finger's for, man. 50 cal. Yeah, that might have been a 50 cal right there. But yeah, like that's the thing that happens in like my neighborhood. Is like I hear guns go off, and like it's not because something bad happened. It's not because of like a whatever's. It is simply because one of my neighbors chose to be like, I wanted to make the metal thing make the big noise. And they make metal noise, they make the metal thing make the big noise. There was actually one time where I was actually in my bedroom and someone fired off a firearm, and it was close enough to the homestead to where it rattled my windows, and I was just like, bruh, don't be doing that close enough to my house to rattle my windows, or at least use like enough gun to rattle my windows. Please don't. Like, this is America. I understand how things are, but like using tack. Now, granted, I think asking for tack is probably the biggest ask I could ask for. That's what it's like living in small town Nebraska, surrounded by farmers and other people out shooting. Yeah. Oh gosh. So origin story time. I'm actually from like the northern chunk of Indiana, and I actually have some somewhat fond memories of going into my cousin's attic with BB guns and hunting bats. Now, granted, I'm a lot more pro bat nowadays, but yeah, that was just like a thing us kids would do. And like kids, like 12-year-old kids would like take BB guns, go into an attic, and shoot bats. Because if bats are in the attic, then they're pooping all over everything and all that stuff. That was kind of like sort of why we were doing the things we were doing. I don't deal with bats in my attic, but if I had bats, I would probably focus on keeping bats out type controls versus actually shooting them, because I think bats are cool critters. And this is getting really close to being done. That is actually getting really close to being done. Oh man, I have to yeet all these ashes out of my bowl. I wonder where those ashes came from. I wonder where. But yeah, like I'm actually in a kind of a strange spot as far as like American like culture and stuff. Like, I've kind of sort of grew up around guns, but like my dad was never much of a gun guy. Like, I technically own one gun, and that's my dad's old 22. It's a 22. That is a thing you can fire at a metal target and make the metal target go ping noises. Also, as my grandpa also demonstrated to a very young Sugi, well, not necessarily very young, but young Sugi, is, hey, this is good for killing possums. I'm a lot more pro pop. I am also more pro possum as an adult. The various things that you get a lot more. I feel like when you grow up, you become a lot more pro wildlife. Okay, I feel like that is pretty much done. So I'm gonna grab my handy dandy glove. And my honest to goodness desire is to give this a good turn. The purpose of the turn is I kind of just want to continue to evenly heat my pot. Now, I have Now, admittedly, I've kind of foobarred myself. What do we got? I was much more pro-gun when I was younger, still am, but now I see the flaws in the systems probably. Yeah, like one of the issues in America is like the Pandora's box of guns has just been like full throttled open for so long, where any sort of like significant gun control would be just like downright difficult to like just execute, because like a lot of people point to what Australia has done, and I feel like Australia has done a really good job with their gun control, and I do think it is definitely something you could look at. Richard Ford, yeah, yeah. But I do think Australia does offer like what could possibly be the best path forward. It's so baked into her culture, and also like, damn it, deer eat my hostas, and I'm okay with people shooting deer. It's just I'm just not okay with people shooting deer in my front yard. Now, great. Now, if they shared that deer, I probably could okay that. I think it's possible to do patchwork and eventually get to a point where it's under control. Yeah. No one wants to do that. Yeah. So, I kind of foodboard myself, and I don't really. This is the best scoop I have available to me, so I'm gonna just like dip this into my Sukiyaki. Ooh, ho, 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 look at all that. Got a good bit of broth. Got some of the. I don't have a lot of meat though. The meat kind of just disappeared on me. Ooh, there it is. There's some meat. Ooh, ha 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 ha. That's what I want. I want to get myself a little bit of that beef, man. Some of that beef. Yo, that looks amazing. Oh, thank you, thank you. I am, like, kind of went into this dish with, like, not knowing too much what to expect, and I gotta say, I am fairly happy with my outcome so far, which is generally how things go. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, it's not too hard to. It's really not too hard to hit good with cooking. Like, one of my favorite things in like anime is when like people confuse salt with sugar, and it's like, if you get to the point where you have a sufficient amount of experience with cooking, you can just tell based off the texture that sugar and salt are vastly two different things. Granted, you could also just like take. Oh wowie, that's hot. Oh no, that's my left-handed glove. I don't want that. I don't want that for eating. So what I want to do is take this, put this here, and if I'm lucky, grab my. So let's see here. Can I grab just a nice little? Yeah, we'll start off with just a small little bit of beef. Ooh, it smells great. Oh my. Wow. Okay, so that seriously has to be the MSG talking. Because there's some serious umami here. Like, real serious umami. I may have actually been a little bit generous with the mirin. Because there's definitely there's a reasonably strong sweet undertone, but like a reasonably strong sweet undertone with beef is more than acceptable. Like, it's Holy smokes, that's really good. I've done hot pot at restaurants before, but I gotta say, like, this is so far has been some. Just that little bit of beef was really fire. So let's do some cabbage now. See how this turned out. I'm fairly optimistic. Damn, that's some good cabbage. Holy smokes. The soy sauce gives that cabbage just the right amount of saltiness. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm going to be tearing this up. Oh man, I'm going to be tearing this up. Like, this is... Also, just like the how richly depth the flavor is like incredible. Like, I am... This is really good. This is really good. I am ecstatic, and I also have beer. Which, beer is also real nice when you have something that's like slightly salty. Okay. Okay. We're gonna go to the next level. We're gonna go to the next level. We're gonna try some of our tofu. We'll see how the tofu comes out. Ooh. Mmm. Mmm. Okay. So, tofu gets perfectly what I expect. Perfectly what I expect. It's got a little bit of firmness to it. Picked up the saltiness, the umami, the sweetness of the broth. But still tofu at the end of the day. Because, I mean, so for those who don't have a great deal of experience working with tofu, one of the jokes with tofu is it picks up the flavors of whatever you cook it in. Yeah, this is a way to make tofu tasty. Now, I will say this. This isn't the best tofu I've had. The best tofu I've had has been tofu that's been done in a Mongolian stir fry with a really rich sauce. That tofu is next level over what I have here, but I have zero complaints with this tofu. Like, this is good. This is actually like really good, really rock solid. And funny enough, it looks like I have, in true hot pot fashion, I have only picked up a small selection of my various ingredients. Mostly cabbage, beef, and broth. Well, cabbage, beef, tofu, and broth. But yeah, I do want to try the cabbage. Ooh, hey now. I want to try the cabbage with like a little bit of the beef, because I think that would be a really good combination. Yes! Yes! Mmm. Okay, so today's Christmas. Now, I generally try not to get like too. I generally try not to get like too far into like the actual like consuming of the food part during the cooking streams, but yeah, it's Christmas. Sorry, this stuff is just that good. Mmm. Oh wow. Mmm. Holy smokes. That is some good stuff. Alright, I'm gonna lurk and run some missions on Warframe for a bit. I'll catch you all after a bit. Okay. Good luck with your missions in Warframe, Captain Cocoa Puffs. 420 alert. Okay, cool. Honestly, I am 100% okay with all that because guess what? I am very much pro you guys living your best lives out there. Whether or not it's playing Warframe or enjoying your certain particular, well, indulgences. I mean, I have my particular indulgence of choice. I mean, granted, I'm just going to be chowing down for a while. I'm going to be a little bit, how do the people say? Self-indulgent? Indulgent? I don't know if I like the term self-indulgent, though. Okay. So, my goal is to grab a little bit of this beef with tofu. And apparently I also have some of the noodles with me as well. Mmm. Mmm. My gosh. My gosh, that is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. This at Sukiyaki at this point in time has firmly earned itself a place in my I am making this again. This is good. This is like truly good. Oh my gosh. Wow, wait, man, like, holy smokes, like, oh, back in light mode. I am absolutely ecstatic at how this turned out. Like, I have a reasonably good foundation in cooking, and I generally get good results as long as I know I follow specific rules. As long as you also generally try to follow the recipe, you know, stay safe with what you're trying to do. Holy smokes, this is that. I see why. I see the why. This is considered a celebration style dish. Like, the umami is incredible. And I used Philly cheesesteak beef with it too. Which, the thing with the Philly cheesesteak beef, it has less fat. If I used a beef with a richer fat, this would be better. I don't have a fly-by-wire. Hey, a little bit of fly-by-wire is always acceptable. Because that is definitely how you grow as a cook. That is how you grow as a cook. Now, as you can see a little bit of, like, fat on the broth, but not a lot. It's not rich in fat. If this was a bit richer in fat, especially beef fat, if I used beef fat instead of canola oil, oh my god. This is amazing. This is good. This is really good. My gosh. Oh, Okay. Okay, so I feel like at this point I can give this thing a rating. And the rating is like this is 9 out of 10. This is 9 out of 10. Reasons why it's 9 out of 10 is reasons why it's not a perfect 10. The balance between all the flavors isn't 100% rock solid. It's not 100% rock solid. It's close. It's nearly there. But it's not there. Which I feel like is a execution error on the part of the cook. This is my first time making it, by the way. But holy smokes, this is definitely a dish I recommend people making at this point. Like, just make this. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of the sippy sip of the brothy broth. Oh, that is a nice rich broth, but it's not heavy. And I like that. I really like that. Like, it has a nice richness to it, but it's not heavy. Like, oh my goodness. Oh. Okay. Well, chat, it is time to dig in for more. Because, oh wait, I need the scoop. I need the scoop, man. Oh my gosh, this is... And I need to get carrots. I need to get some carrots in this. I really want to try some of the carrots, because I imagine... Because I didn't get really any carrots. I didn't get any onions, so I really want to focus on getting some onions. And I also want to focus on some of the noodles. I'm going to get myself a good chunk of the noodles. Come here, noodles. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what we're talking about, man. That is just what we're talking about. Oh. What an absolute beautiful... And this is also, like, fairly aesthetically pleasing as a dish. Like, look at that. That just looks amazing. And I haven't even done any real fancy stuff. When I eventually link the video that I use to guide me in this process, that video actually stars the carrots. Like, they'll cut the carrots into circles. They'll use a fairly thick carrot, about I would reckon 1-inch diameter, maybe a little bit more. They'll use those, and then they'll use a cookie cutter to cut like star shapes, which I think that's like a really nice touch in this dish. And also just, yeah. Yeah. So, it is time to enjoy a carrot. It is so entirely time to enjoy a carrot. Yes! Oh my gosh. Carrot is nice texture, it's sweet, but it's a different sort of sweet from like the broth sauce. I'm a happy VTuber, man. I'm a really happy VTuber. Like, this is like really good. I was a little unsure of how much of this I'm gonna eat, but the way things are looking, I'm looking like I'll probably eat a fair amount of this stuff. So, here we go. Oh, what are you called again? The shirataki noodles. As we can see, they have went from a white to being a brownish color, dyed by the broth. Thanks to you, soybeans. Let's give this a shot. Let's give these noodles a shot. Mmm. Oh my god. That was some good. Oh gosh, I didn't think I was gonna get hit with a pun that hard, man. But yeah, welcome into Dad's Old Shop. I hope you're having a Merry Christmas. Oh gosh, I think that pun did physical damage. Which good on you, but like, I gotta say, like, this is incredible. This is incredible. This is really good. This is like really, really, really good stuff. Like, now I will say, for any culinary perfectionists, I skipped the mushrooms. As you can see, there's no mushrooms. I'm not a mushroom guy. I don't like mushrooms, but I did go a little extra. I feel like I went a little bit heavier on the cabbage, but oh, this is so good. This is so incredibly good. Like the balance between like sweet and savory. Oh my gosh. Onions. I love onions. But yeah, Merry Christmas, Dad's Old Shop. Oh my god. Damn, those are good onions. That's what this is like. That's what this is like. Okay. So, there are times I will do fried potatoes. And towards the end of frying the potatoes, like stir-fried potatoes, I'll add mirin for like a sweet, to add some sweetness, and I will also like kind of like savory them. This is like that. This is very much like that. Which, if I really nail my fried potatoes, there's been times I've eaten my fried potatoes and I'm just like, this is near religious of an experience. Like these are incredible, absolutely incredible. And like, I originally rated this like a 9 out of 10. I really want to bump this to a 9.5. I gotta say that like this is good. This is like really dang good. Which, ooh yeah, ooh, that's a thick piece of cabbage. Ooh yeah, let's do a thick piece of cabbage with some noodles. My goodness gracious. Granted, we definitely have a lot more of a shine with the fat. Holy smokes. This has just been doing so many good things for me. Now, I don't have a lot of meat in this bowl, but oh yeah. So, Dad's Old Shop. So the Kroger's calls it beef shaved steak, but as you can see, it's basically like the same steak product that you would use for like a Philly cheesesteak. I have really liked this product for like for making gyudon, which is the reason why I chose it for tonight's stream, because it was like, okay, this was a reasonably good product for that dish. I feel confident using this as a product for tonight's dish, and I gotta say, good stuff, good stuff. Also, I really like the idea that I can just buy my beef and not have to worry about processing it. Cheesesteak. Oh boy, oh boy. We're just bringing out Dad's Old Shops. Enter Homer Simpson. But yeah, like. Also, I'm really glad that this recipe shared the addition of onions and carrots, which I think were good additions. Mmm. Yeah, I used it for the one time I made gyudon. Now, that is my game plans for the rest of this. My game plans for my remainder here is to make gyudon, because gyudon's simple, gyudon's easy, and it's most importantly delicious. It's really delicious. Oh man. I don't want to say I've outdone myself, but I am. This has definitely been one of those meals where I've tried, where it's like, okay, there's a lot of hype here. Let's try it out. Yeah, it lives up to the hype. It seriously lives up to the hype. Like, this is just truly incredible. Truly incredible. Which is interesting, because the fact that it uses both mirin and sugar separately as ingredients made me think that it might have been too sweet. It's not. It has just the right amount of sweetness to it, which is great. Okay. So, I am out of beer. My earlier Dos Equis is done Dos Equis. So, I'm going for one of my local craft breweries beers, and I gotta say, if you're ever in the Louisville, Kentucky area, and you get a chance to try this beer, do try this beer. And that is Eagle Skull from Monarch. It is. Also, I just really like the art they did for this one. But yeah, it's a good beer. It's actually a saison. And it's one of their flagships, which is one of the fun things with Monarch is they actually do quite, like, during the summer. I have been to Monarch during the summer, and they've had like four saisons on tap. 4 saison beers. Incredible. And they're all good. They're all good beers. Okay. I gotta dig into this, man. I gotta dig into this. And I gotta say, I'm a big fan of my favorite broth of all time has always been pho for a long period of time. Yeah. Where I live is interesting as far as some of the because the fact that they would use, because Monarch's interesting because they do have an IPA as one of their flagships. They do have a lager style as one of their flagships. Another one of their flagships. Then they have the saison. That is another one of their flagships. They also do a ginger saison that is incredible. That's available for like a quarter of the year. But another one of their flagships is an English mild ale. And that is something I really and dearly like about Fo's amazing. It heals all cold. Yeah, like this broth is like really close to Fo levels. It is incredible. It is an absolutely incredible broth. Like, oh my gosh, it's really dang good. It's really dang good. No. Mm. Mm. Can I get this? And that's the thing that this dish is making me think about is like, oh boy, have I been sleeping on MSG all this time? Because holy smokes, this is like incredible. Like the dish is incredible, but the dish also has MSG in it, so it's like, is the dish incredible because of MSG, or is it just incredible because of the combination of ingredients? I don't entirely know. I'm also not too entirely concerned about that because holy smokes, it's delicious. Yeah, get some of those carrots. Carrots. Let's get almost want to swipe a good chunk of those noodles too. I got it. Yes, you have. Well, the recipe called for it, and it seemed like you had to add this for like authenticity. So I was just like, okay, cool. I'm gonna. Oh wait, what? Oh, that's interesting. Hey, no. Yeah. Yeah. MSG is definitely seems to be like one of those things where it's like a little goes a long way, which honestly I'm like actually a really big fan of the. Oh yeah. Look at all that beef, man. Look at all that beef. Delicious, delicious beef. Now, granted, honestly, I said, ooh. Yeah. Let's get a little bit of carrot, a little bit of cabbage, and a little bit of beef. All good things. All good things. Mmm. Oh. Oh man. Oh man. This is really good, guys. This is really good, man. Oh yeah, we need to do that. We need to do that. Okay. Okay. I need to get a chunk off. Unfortunately, I have a little bit of a beef ball, but what I want to do is get a little bit of beef with this big old chunk of tofu. Beef and tofu for the win. Let's go. Let's go. My gosh. My gosh, that is incredible. That is incredible. This makes me so happy. This is. Oh gosh. I have issues now. I have problems now. I have a problem now. So, the problem I now have is I am currently 6 days away from my B day, my birthday. Now, what I did last year was I made my favorite campfire cooking dish again for my birthday. So, my game plan for this year was, once again, making my favorite campfire cooking dish for my birthday. And prior to the stream, I was really leaning towards beer cheese and just making the beer cheese, like just skipping pretzels, because it's like, it's my birthday. I don't deserve to deal with dough on my birthday. I can escape the drudgeries of dough on my birthday. I feel like I can allow myself that. If I had made this sooner in the year, I would be very, very tempted to do this again. Now, I will say this. If nothing in 2026 tops this, I will make this again for my birthday in 2026, but not at the end of this year. Because I don't want to like remake the same recipe in like the same week. It's a little too bit on the like recycling content type thing. Carrot and onion. A very powerful combination. Oh man. And the carrot's cooked enough to now where it just like crumbles in your mouth. Just crumbles. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, noodles. Oh my god. Now it is ever so slightly on the salty side, but the salt flavor profile being just enough ahead of the curve is like, that's like feature. Like it's just a hair bit more. It's not like overwhelming or anything. It's like, oh. I gotta say, like, this has just been like a really, really good dish. I am incredibly humbled by the amount of goodness that is in this. Like, holy smokes. Now, saying that about this dish, next year is gonna be hype, because we're gonna be doing some recipes from the Stardew Valley official cookbook. You better believe we're gonna be doing some recipes from this cookbook. I've done a little bit of flipping through, and I gotta say, I'm excited. I'm actually truly excited about that. Remember, folks, whenever you're drinking your beer, drink your water, because it's important to do both in moderation. Okay. Now time for more live food reactions. Wowee. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Oh yeah, that's what we talk about. Meat with veggies. Meat with veggies. Oh my gosh. Yep. Oh my gosh. Happy VTuber. I'm very happy VTuber right now, man. Yeah, the Sukiyaki is just like this is like incredible, like truly incredible. Oh, you did Delicious in Dungeon. Oh man. Okay, so I have seen the first episode in Delicious in Dungeon. I haven't seen anything more from that series. I don't have a Netflix account. Now, if JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Steel Ball Run gets a weekly release, I am going to be so incredibly tempted. Like, I would probably bite the bullet and get a Netflix account just to watch JoJo's and to do Delicious in Dungeon, because Delicious in Dungeon is also a Netflix anime I really would like to sink my teeth into for the good old pun. But yeah, I would love to actually like get into Delicious in Dungeon more. Also, I think it would be real fun if I could like if I could pull a recipe or two, because another thing about Louisville, Kentucky, is that this is a foodie city. We love food here, and if I'm willing to do a little bit of digging, I can find myself, because we have a restaurant called Game. Now, I've never been there, but I know of it. And Game, you can basically get like any sort of like exotic meat you could desire. Like if you want to try snake, you can try snake. If you want to try ostrich, you can try ostrich. Just all sorts of wild game meats are available there, and there's a lot more of an ecosystem management shift than expected. Oh, Dad's old shop, you don't realize how much you're selling the show to me, man. I was once a forestry major. I took a college level class in, gosh, what was it? Conservation biology was the title of the class. That class nearly destroyed me. Conservation biology nearly destroyed me, but I also got to have one of the more unique experiences of my college career. Bro, it's right up your alley. Oh man. Which, by the way, one of my more formative college experiences. Like, a lot of people have a lot of interesting college experiences. We did a field trip to the Cincinnati Zoo. And at the Cincinnati Zoo, and well, we actually got to do a little bit of like some of the behind the scenes stuff. Like actually like go into like some of the like labs and some of that type of stuff, which was like really, really, really cool. And it was just like getting exposed to all this like cool stuff. And it was like, oh man, this is great. But we were also kind of in the basement of this building. And there was only one elevator for the building. And we were like a whole class, and it was like a small elevator. So we were like shuttling sections of students like up to the main floor to where we could eventually exit the building. And our tour guide was like, what's something I can show these like college kids right quick while we're waiting for this elevator? She goes, ah! Walks away and then comes back with this like 4-foot long PVC pipe, like electrical conduit gray PVC pipe that has like a 45-degree bend, and then this big bulb at the end of that bend, and then that bulb has 4 metal wires attached to it. Well, it has like 4 metal like copper. It's not wires. It's like copper pipes, but they're meant to be electrodes. So it's like 4 copper electrodes at the end of the like this bulb, and then at the end of the PVC pipe is a place to do an electrical connection. There's like 2 wires to basically connect your positive and negative. And she's like, behold, the rhinoceros ejaculator. This is a dildo that is shoved up the anus of a black rhino's that they then run an electric current through it to stimulate the black rhino's prostate and basically get the black rhino to release the next step in making mini rhinos. But yeah, that's my big like conservation. I have held a rhinoceros dildo, essentially. And that is kind of one of the big. That's kind of one of my bigger boasts that I think I can make as a person. It's just, yeah, I've held one of these things that have been used in actual conservation work. Because here's the thing, like, there's per my last understanding, I have more fingers than there are black rhinos in the world. I've got more fingers than there are black rhinos, which is kind of a scary thought. Damn Romans having too much damn fun in their Colosseum, which is part of the problem. That was actually a really big problem with some of that stuff. Okay, I need to take a couple bites of this. Because it's good. It's really dang good. And I would like to break my beef up a little bit more so I can spread it out. Wow, yeah. Wow. My gosh, that is... Sukiyaki, you're an incredible dish. Like, truly an incredible dish. Like, the only thing keeping you away from a solid 10 is the fact that I don't have the flavor balance nailed. Because I think... because it does taste a little bit salty, so I may have been a hair bit heavy with the MSG. But, holy smokes, like... overall, you're really damn good. Really damn good. Absolutely incredibly damn good. I am exceedingly happy with how tonight's dish turned out. This is definitely I am actually like very deeply thankful for how well this turned out. So, well, I was intending to do a little bit of seed shopping tonight, but considering I've actually managed to hit my 2-hour mark and a little bit then some, I'm not gonna do that. So, I definitely have a little bit room left in my tummy, which I'm definitely gonna be shoving as much of that as I can into my tummy, because tomorrow's Friday. I do have to work, but after work, I would like to make gyudon. So, not sure if I'll be doing this for breakfast. It seems like a little bit heavy of a breakfast food, but I definitely need. Because the thing is going on Saturday. So from Saturday to Sunday is going to be my family's big Christmas gathering. This is probably going to be like 30 some odd members of the Yamagawa clan, so quite a few of us. And this is one of our bigger family events of the year, so I'm going to have that going on. So, next stream is going to happen next Tuesday, and that stream will actually happen that day, and I can somewhat reasonably guarantee that because I actually have a job interview on Tuesday, and I will be calling into my day job so I can do the interview. So, I will be streaming on next Tuesday. Then, next Tuesday, which is December 30th. Then on Wednesday, that Wednesday is going to be this guy's birthday. It's going to be my birthday. December 31st. And we'll be around the fire pit for that one. And that's just going to be like an ever so slightly more self-indulgent stream than this one has been. But I'm currently planning on doing beer cheese for that. Thank you very much, Dad's Old Shop. Thank you very much. And I hope you have a really good and happy holidays as well. So, because I've been wanting to do a garden year in review thing, I'm probably going to be doing that on my birthday. And whether or not I actually dig into this wonderful seed catalog, I don't know. I don't know how things are going to go. We'll see how things go. I definitely want to do some seed catalog time. I like my seed catalogs. I'm that old. I get excited over a seed catalog. But you know what? I live my best life. And I hope all of you out there live your best life as well. So, with all that said, my name is Sugi Yamagawa, and I'd like to wish all of you may you have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.